The hidden shield. Dr. Isabella Martinez stood motionless before the quantum holographic display, her enhanced retinal implants processing streams of data faster than any unaugmented human could comprehend. 3 kilometers beneath the Rocky Mountains, in humanity's most advanced command center, she watched as the first wave of Drachnid warships crossed the heliopause. "They're earlier than our projections suggested," she murmured, her neural interface automatically logging the observation for Earth Defense Command's AI systems to analyze. Admiral James Chen, no relation to the famous physicist who had pioneered quantum shielding, stepped beside her. His weathered face reflected the blue glow of the holographic displays. "How many?" "Initial count shows 300 capital ships, with approximately 2,000 support vessels," Isabella responded, expanding the display with a gesture. "Their energy signatures match our previous observations. They haven't made any significant technological advances since their last probe." The irony wasn't lost on either of them. For 50 years, humanity had maintained the greatest deception in its history. While the world appeared divided, technologically stagnant, and vulnerable to outside observers, Earth's nations had unified in secret, advancing technology at an unprecedented rate. The Quantum Concordat, as the Hidden Alliance was known, had transformed human civilization. Cities flourished beneath the surface of every continent, connected by vacuum tubes that could transport people and goods at near-light speeds. Orbital habitats, cloaked by phase-shift technology, housed millions. And deep within dimensional pockets throughout the solar system, Earth's true fleet waited. "Show me the latest analysis of their tactical formations," Admiral Chen commanded. The display shifted, highlighting the approaching alien armada. The Drachnids, a species that evolved from apex predators, had conquered 12 star systems through superior technology and overwhelming force. Their crystalline ships, powered by artificial singularities, had never known defeat. Isabella manipulated the display, bringing up comparative analysis. "They're deploying in standard conquest formation. Our deep space quantum sensors confirm they're only committing about 20% of their total fleet strength." She allowed herself a small smile. "They still think we're pre-spaceflight." The deception had begun in 2042, when humanity detected the first alien probe. Instead of announcing first contact or displaying their rapid technological advancement, world leaders made an unprecedented decision. They would hide, not out of fear, but strategy. While the public continued their normal lives, unaware of the impending threat, the best minds on Earth worked together in secret. "Status of Operation Nightfall?" Admiral Chen asked, referring to Earth's meticulously planned counter-invasion strategy. "All systems are go," Isabella confirmed, bringing up a new display showing Earth's true defensive capabilities. Quantum phase generators are charged and ready throughout the solar system. The dimensional fleet is in position, and our AI defense network has calculated over 50 million possible battle scenarios. Beneath the surface of Mars, automated factories had spent decades producing advanced weaponry. Jupiter's moons housed antimatter production facilities that could power Earth's fleet for centuries. Even the asteroid belt had been transformed into a complex network of sensor arrays and automated defense platforms, all invisible to conventional detection methods. Dr. Patel's team reports the final calibrations on the quantum disruption field are complete, Isabella continued. Once activated, it will prevent any FTL travel within the solar system except through our controlled corridors. Admiral Chen nodded, his neural implants synchronizing with the facility's secure network. "And the civilian population?" "Underground shelters are ready but unmarked on any official records. The surface infrastructure we've allowed the Drachnids to see is largely automated or holographic. Real population centers are protected by quantum shields and phase-shift technology." A soft chime indicated a priority message from the Quantum Concordat's governing council. Admiral Chen accepted the transmission, his neural implants translating the quantum-encrypted data directly into his consciousness. Authorization received. Operation Nightfall is greenlit. Isabella initiated the final preparation sequences. Throughout the solar system, hidden defensive systems hummed to life, maintaining their quantum-shifted state that made them invisible to conventional sensors. Earth's true fleet, comprising over 5,000 advanced warships, maintained position in their dimensional pockets, ready to emerge at a moment's notice. Tactical analysis suggests they'll reach Mars orbit in 72 hours, Isabella reported. Their initial scans still show exactly what we want them to see: outdated satellites, primitive nuclear arsenals, and radio telescopes that would seem archaic to their level of technology. Perfect, Admiral Chen replied, a hint of anticipation in his voice. Let them come. Let them think they're hunting prey. He turned to face the massive display, watching the approaching alien fleet. They're about to learn why underestimating humanity was their greatest mistake. The quantum displays continued their silent dance, monitoring every movement of the approaching Drachnid fleet. Humanity's moment of revelation approached, and with it, a demonstration of power that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of Earth forever. The greatest deception in human history was about to end, and the Drachnid Empire would learn that appearances could be fatally deceiving. Deception's edge. High Commander Vexterra stood on the crystalline bridge of the Drachnid flagship, Eternal Dominance, his iridescent scales shifting colors with barely contained anticipation. The holographic displays surrounding him showed detailed scans of the Earth system, each image confirming what countless probe missions had reported: a primitive civilization ripe for conquest. Our deep scan arrays have completed their final sweep, High Commander, reported First Tactician Krelvor, his clawed appendages manipulating the control interface. The humans continue to broadcast their primitive radio signals. Their military vessels still rely on chemical propulsion, and their most advanced weapons are based on simple nuclear fission. Vexterra's secondary breathing membranes fluttered in what his species considered laughter. Show me their pathetic attempts at planetary defense. The display shifted, revealing a network of outdated satellites and ground-based missile installations. They still think these toys can protect them. How quaint. What the Drachnid commander couldn't see were the quantum sensors embedded throughout his ship, transmitting every word, every plan, and every thought directly to Earth's defense network. The very crystals that formed his vessel's structure had been subtly influenced by human nanobots during previous probe encounters, creating an undetectable surveillance network. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in another of Earth's hidden command centers, Fleet Admiral Rei Nakamura watched the Drachnid leadership with grim satisfaction. "They're proceeding exactly as predicted," she commented to her executive officer, Commander David O'Neill. "Their arrogance blinds them to any possibility of deception." "The quantum infiltration network is performing perfectly," David confirmed, his neural implants processing streams of data from the compromised Drachnid fleet. "We're receiving everything: tactical plans, ship specifications, crew communications. Their entire battle network is an open book to our AI systems." Back on the Drachnid flagship, Vexterra reviewed the invasion plans with his war council. The massive chamber, lined with living crystal that pulsed with bioluminescent energy, housed the Empire's most experienced military minds. None of them suspected that their supposedly secure facility was being monitored by technology centuries beyond their understanding. "The first wave will target their primitive communication networks," Krelvor explained, highlighting key strategic points on the holographic Earth. "Without coordination, their military forces will be isolated and easily overwhelmed. Our atmospheric penetrators will disable their power distribution systems, leaving their population centers helpless." "And their space forces?" asked Subcommander Zach Sull, the youngest member of the War Council. "Barely worth mentioning," Krelvor dismissed with a gesture. "A handful of chemical rockets, 3 small orbital stations, and approximately 2,000 satellites, most for civilian communication. Their most advanced weapons platforms are nuclear-tipped missiles that couldn't scratch our weakest shields." In the Pacific Command Center, Admiral Nakamura allowed herself a small smile. If they only knew that every satellite they've detected is a holographic projection, every missile silo empty, every military base they've scanned nothing but elaborate props. Quantum field generators are reporting optimal performance, David added. The real Earth remains completely hidden behind our phase shift barrier. They're about to attack a carefully constructed illusion. The Drachnid War Council continued their planning, confident in their superior technology and overwhelming force. They had conquered 12 star systems using the same tactics: swift, overwhelming strikes that destroyed communication and infrastructure, followed by systematic occupation of population centers. Our intelligence suggests they're still fighting among themselves, Vexterra noted with satisfaction. Their nations maintain separate military forces, competing economies, and conflicting ideologies. They lack the unity to mount an effective resistance. If only they knew that beneath the carefully maintained facade of division, humanity had achieved a level of cooperation and technological advancement that would seem impossible to their would-be conquerors. The Quantum Concordat had united Earth's best minds, resources, and determination behind a single purpose: survival and victory. Final preparations are complete, High Commander, Krelvor announced. The fleet will reach optimal strike position in 18 hours. Our analysis suggests the humans will detect our final approach approximately 6 hours before we launch the attack. Their primitive sensors cannot penetrate our stealth fields at greater ranges. In reality, Earth's quantum sensors had been tracking every ship, every movement, and every communication since the fleet entered the solar system. The AI defense network had already calculated and countered every possible variation of the Drachnid attack plan. Launch the preliminary drone wave, Vexterra commanded. Let's see how their defenses react to a proper show of force. Across the Drachnid fleet, launch bays opened, releasing thousands of automated attack drones. The crystalline constructs, each armed with weapons that could level a city, accelerated toward Earth in perfect formation. They were meant to overwhelm and terrorize the primitive humans, demonstrating the futility of resistance. Admiral Nakamura watched the drone launch with practiced calm. All defense grid sectors report ready, David confirmed. Quantum shields are charged but inactive. Phase shift drives are spooled. The AI network has optimized our response strategies based on the latest Drachnid tactical data. Very good, Nakamura replied, opening a secure channel to the United Earth Defense Council. Operation Nightfall entering final phase. All commands are to maintain current protocols until the Drachnid fleet commits to their attack vector. The quantum displays continued their silent vigilance as humanity's moment of revelation drew near. In less than 24 hours, the greatest deception in human history would end in a demonstration of power that would forever change the balance of power in the galaxy. The hunters were about to become the hunted, and the Drachnid Empire was about to learn the true cost of underestimating humanity. Breaking point. The first wave of Drachnid drones struck Earth's apparent defenses exactly as planned. Primitive satellites exploded, missile installations were vaporized, and communication networks went dark. High Commander Vexterra watched with satisfaction as his empire's weapons wreaked havoc on the helpless planet below. First wave effectiveness at 98%, Krelvor reported, his scales gleaming under the crystal ship's bioluminescent lighting. Human military responses are disorganized and ineffective. Their primitive projectile weapons cannot penetrate our drone shields. Begin the second wave, Vexterra commanded. Prepare atmospheric penetrators for immediate deployment. I want their power grids and transportation networks completely disabled before our ground forces arrive. Throughout the Drachnid fleet, launch bays opened once again, releasing thousands of crystalline penetrator drones designed to pierce Earth's atmosphere and destroy key infrastructure. The aliens watched their holographic displays, expecting to see more chaos and destruction as their unstoppable weapons descended upon the seemingly helpless planet. Instead, something impossible happened. 3 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean, Admiral Nakamura gave the order they had waited 50 years to execute. Operation Nightfall is now active. Disengage quantum camouflage. Let them see what they're really fighting. Around the planet, the carefully maintained illusion of a primitive Earth dissolved. The holographic satellites and defense installations vanished, replaced by something far more imposing. A shimmering energy field materialized around the planet, its surface rippling with patterns that defied conventional physics. On the Drachnid flagship, alarms blared as sensors detected massive energy signatures appearing throughout the solar system. Impossible! Krelvor shouted, his scales turning pale with shock. High Commander, we're detecting thousands of artificial quantum anomalies. Energy readings are off our scales. Before Vextera could respond, every single penetrator drone simply ceased to exist. They didn't explode or break apart, they vanished, their very atoms dispersed by forces the Drachnids couldn't comprehend. The first wave of drones suffered the same fate, blinking out of existence in less than a second. Multiple vessels detecting massive power signatures, a sensor operator reported, panic evident in their voice. Something is emerging from nowhere. Throughout the solar system, dimensional pockets opened like blooming flowers. Earth's true fleet revealed itself, sleek vessels of dark metal and pulsing energy, their designs unlike anything the Drachnids had ever encountered. Each ship bristled with weapons that operated on principles the aliens couldn't begin to understand. In the Pacific Command Center, Admiral Nakamura allowed herself a moment of grim satisfaction. Broadcast on all frequencies, including their quantum channels. Let them hear the truth. Her voice echoed through every Drachnid ship, transmitted through the very crystals they used for construction. Attention Drachnid fleet. You have entered Earth-controlled space under false pretenses and with hostile intent. For 50 years, we have studied you, learned your weaknesses, and prepared for this moment. Your technology is known to us. Your tactics are predictable. Your conquest ends here. On the Drachnid flagship, Vextera watched in horror as his tactical displays revealed the true situation. Hidden installations throughout the solar system powered up, massive structures on Mars, weapons platforms in the asteroid belt, energy collectors around Jupiter. Every probe, every scan, every analysis had been wrong. Launch all fighters, he commanded. Begin emergency FTL calculations. We need to dash. His words cut off as a strange sensation rippled through the ship. Their artificial gravity flickered. High Commander, Krelvor reported, his voice shaking. Our singularity cores they're not responding. Something is interfering with the quantum fields. Dr. Isabella Martinez, monitoring from the Rocky Mountain facility, confirmed the effectiveness of humanity's quantum disruption field. All Drachnid power systems are being systematically disabled. Their artificial singularities are contained and neutralized. They're running on emergency power only. Throughout the solar system, Earth's fleet moved with practiced precision. Ships emerged from dimensional pockets directly alongside Drachnid vessels, their quantum weapons powered up but not yet firing. It was a display of overwhelming force and technological superiority that shattered every assumption the aliens had made about humanity. This is your only warning, Admiral Nakamura's voice continued. Your shields are already compromised. Your weapons are ineffective against our quantum defense fields. Your FTL capabilities have been neutralized. You have 30 minutes to power down your remaining systems and prepare for boarding. Any hostile action will be met with immediate and overwhelming force. In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, Admiral Chen watched the sensor feeds with satisfaction. How many ships are attempting to charge weapons? 412, Isabella reported. Exactly as the AI predicted. They're too proud to surrender without at least one act of defiance. Very well, Chen replied. Weapons free on any vessel that powers up hostile systems. Show them exactly what they're dealing with. The first Drachnid ship to fire its weapons discovered the futility of resistance. Its crystalline energy beams, capable of destroying planets, dissipated harmlessly against Earth's quantum shields. The response was immediate and devastating. A focused quantum beam from an Earth vessel struck with surgical precision, bypassing the Drachnid shields as if they didn't exist. The massive alien warship split cleanly in two, its power systems shutting down without even an explosion. Similar scenes played out across the solar system as more Drachnid ships attempted to fight back. Earth's vessels, guided by AI systems that could process combat decisions in nanoseconds, disabled the alien ships with precision and efficiency. No wasted energy, no collateral damage, just the systematic dismantling of what had been considered one of the most powerful fleets in the known galaxy. High Commander Vextera, watching his invasion force being methodically neutralized, finally understood the magnitude of his species' mistake. They hadn't found a primitive civilization ripe for conquest. They had walked into a carefully laid trap, decades in the making, sprung by a civilization far more advanced than they could have imagined. The greatest deception in human history had served its purpose. Now, the galaxy would learn that humanity was not prey to be hunted, but a force to be reckoned with. Counter-Strike. The next 30 minutes demonstrated to the galaxy why humanity had chosen patience over pride, preparation over premature revelation. As the deadline approached, Admiral Nakamura watched the tactical displays with the calm demeanor of someone who had rehearsed this moment countless times. 715 Drachnid vessels have powered down voluntarily, Commander O'Neill reported. The remaining ships are maintaining combat postures. AI analysis suggests they're preparing for a coordinated last stand. In the crystalline command chamber of the Eternal Dominance, High Commander Vextera faced the greatest crisis in Drachnid military history. If we must fall, he announced to his fleet, we will fall as warriors. Concentrate all remaining power on weapons. Show these humans the fury of a cornered predator. The Drachnid ships that chose to fight unleashed everything they had. Crystalline energy beams, quantum torpedoes, and gravitational disruption fields, weapons that had brought 12 star systems to their knees, lashed out at Earth's forces. The space between Mars and Earth lit up with enough firepower to shatter planets. Not a single human ship was damaged. All attacks neutralized, Isabella reported from the Rocky Mountain facility. Their weapon signatures were exactly as our probes predicted. Quantum shields didn't even reach 5% load. Admiral Chen nodded, opening a secure channel to all Earth forces. Execute final phase. Demonstrate to our guests why technological superiority isn't just about defensive capabilities. Earth's response transformed space itself into a weapon. Quantum fields rippled through the solar system, creating corridors of altered physics. Drachnid energy weapons bent back on themselves. Their shields, operating on principles humanity had surpassed decades ago, offered no more protection than tissue paper against quantum-phased attacks. From hidden bases on Mars, massive particle accelerators powered up. They didn't fire conventional beams, instead, they created precise warps in spacetime itself. Drachnid ships found themselves pulled apart at the atomic level, their crystalline structures dissolving into component particles without even the dignity of an explosion. The Drachnid fleet is attempting to coordinate their remaining forces, O'Neill observed. Their command and control networks are switching to backup frequencies. Admiral Nakamura allowed herself a thin smile. Initiate neural disruption sequence. Throughout the Drachnid fleet, the very crystals they used for computing and communication turned against them. Hidden quantum algorithms, implanted years ago by human nanobots, activated. Alien crew members found their neural interfaces, the technology they relied on to control their ships, broadcasting confusing signals directly into their brains. On the Eternal Dominance, Vextera struggled to maintain consciousness as his command interfaces betrayed him. How, he managed to transmit across the fleet. How did you achieve this level of advancement in secret? Your own arrogance blinded you, Admiral Nakamura's voice replied, broadcast through the compromised crystal networks. You saw what you expected to see, a primitive species divided and vulnerable. You never considered that our apparent weakness might be our greatest deception. Earth's fleet moved with perfect coordination, their AI systems calculating and executing combat maneuvers faster than organic minds could process. Quantum weapons struck with surgical precision, disabling Drachnid vessels without destroying them. Specialized boarding ships emerged from dimensional pockets directly inside alien vessels, bypassing their remaining defenses completely. We've confirmed control of the primary command ships, Isabella reported. Quantum mapping shows no additional hidden forces or backup fleets in the system. The battle had lasted less than an hour. The mighty Drachnid invasion force, 300 capital ships and 2,000 support vessels, had been completely neutralized. Some were powered down, their crews surrendering after witnessing the futility of resistance. Others drifted in pieces, testament to the price of underestimating humanity's capabilities. In the Pacific Command Center, Admiral Nakamura opened a channel to the captured Drachnid flagship. High Commander Vextera, your forces have been defeated. Your ships are either destroyed or under our control. Your empire's belief in its technological superiority has been decisively disproven. Through the quantum interface, she could see the alien commander's scales had turned a pale, sickly color, a sign of total defeat in his species. What happens now? Vextera asked, his voice stripped of its former arrogance. Now, Nakamura replied, you will witness humanity's true nature. We could have destroyed your entire fleet in seconds. We could have sent our forces to lay waste to your empire. Instead, we will offer you a choice. The quantum displays throughout Earth's command centers shifted, showing the status of the defeated Drachnid fleet. Nearly two-thirds of their ships had been captured intact, their crews alive and largely unharmed. It was a demonstration not just of humanity's power, but of their precision and control. Your empire has conquered 12 systems through force, Nakamura continued. We are offering you the opportunity to become part of something greater. Earth is prepared to share some of our technological advancements, under strict conditions. Your empire can join a new coalition of species, one based on cooperation rather than conquest. The message was being broadcast not just to the defeated fleet, but across quantum channels to the Drachnid homeworld. The empire that had thought itself the apex predator of the galaxy was being offered a chance at redemption, but the implicit threat was clear: resist, and face a force that could dissect battle fleets like they were children's toys. Throughout the solar system, Earth's quantum sensors monitored the reactions of the surviving Drachnid crews. The AI networks analyzed every communication, every energy signature, calculating the probability of acceptance versus continued resistance. The fate of an empire hung in the balance, and with it, the future shape of galactic civilization. New Dawn. 1 month after the failed invasion, the solar system had transformed from a battlefield into a symbol of humanity's emergence as a galactic power. The captured Drachnid ships, now repurposed as diplomatic vessels, orbited Earth openly. Their crystalline hulls reflected sunlight alongside humanity's quantum phase ships, a visual representation of the changing balance of power. In the newly unveiled Singapore Space Elevator, Dr. Isabella Martinez led a delegation of Drachnid scientists through Earth's primary research facility. The alien scales shifted through patterns of blues and greens, their species' expression of wonder and intellectual curiosity. Your quantum manipulation technology, lead researcher Zeltor commented, his translator converting his harmonic speech patterns to English, it operates on principles we thought impossible. The ability to shift matter partially out of conventional spacetime. That was one of our earliest breakthroughs, Isabella replied, gesturing to a massive quantum fabrication chamber. Once we detected your first probe and realized we weren't alone, Earth scientists united with a single purpose. Fear of invasion drove innovation, but it was hope for a better future that guided our development. Above Mars, Admiral Nakamura's flagship, Humanity's Dawn, hosted a different kind of meeting. High Commander Vextera, now serving as the Drachnid Empire's chief diplomatic envoy, stood before a holographic display showing the known galaxy. "The 12 systems we conquered," he admitted, his posture showing submission and respect. "They would welcome liberation. Our rule was harsh. We believed technological superiority gave us the right to dominate." "And now?" Admiral Nakamura asked, though the quantum sensors throughout the ship had already analyzed his physiological responses, confirming his sincerity. "Now we understand that true strength lies not in conquest, but in cooperation." Vextera's scales rippled with determination. "The Drachnid Empire formally requests Earth's assistance in transitioning our territories into a cooperative alliance." In the Rocky Mountain facility, Admiral Chen reviewed reports from across human space. The quantum veil that had hidden Earth's true development was being systematically lifted. Underground cities emerged into the sunlight, their advanced architecture and technology no longer requiring concealment. Orbital habitats decloaked, revealing the true scale of human civilization. "Status of the integration programs," he asked Commander O'Neill, who now served as Earth's primary liaison with former Drachnid territories. "Exceeding expectations," David replied, his neural implants processing streams of data. "The liberated systems are eager to adopt Earth's technological and social frameworks. The Drachnid surviving fleet commanders have universally accepted their new role as peacekeepers under human oversight." The quantum displays showed the progress of humanity's controlled revelation to the galaxy. Other spacefaring civilizations, learning of Earth's decisive victory over the Drachnids, were scrambling to establish diplomatic relations. The message was clear: humanity had not only emerged as a galactic power but had done so by choosing wisdom over aggression. In orbit around Jupiter, the massive quantum shipyards that had remained hidden for decades now worked openly, producing vessels that would help patrol and protect the newly established Alliance territories. The ships incorporated both human and adapted Drachnid technology, symbolic of the new era of cooperation. "The Quantum Concordat is ready to expand," Isabella reported during a global broadcast. "Our deception served its purpose, it protected Earth until we were ready. Now, our advancement can serve a greater purpose, guiding our galaxy toward a future of mutual understanding and shared progress." The transformation wasn't limited to space. On Earth's surface, the carefully maintained facade of division and technological stagnation gave way to the reality of a unified human civilization. Vacuum tube networks connected cities across continents. Quantum power generators eliminated energy scarcity. Medical facilities revealed treatments that bordered on miraculous. "We kept this hidden not out of fear," Admiral Nakamura explained to a gathering of diplomatic representatives from across known space, "but because we understood that true power lies not in its display, but in its wise application. Earth could have emerged decades ago as a conquering force, but we chose a different path." In the following months, the solar system became a hub of galactic diplomacy and technological exchange. Former Drachnid subject worlds sent delegations to Earth, eager to learn from the civilization that had not only defeated their conquerors but had shown mercy in victory. The Drachnid Empire, under its new leadership, began a systematic transformation. Their crystalline ships, once symbols of terror, were redesigned to serve as vessels of exploration and peaceful exchange. Their advanced biotechnology, combined with human quantum science, opened new frontiers in medical research and environmental restoration. 1 year after the failed invasion, Earth hosted the first Galactic Concordat Summit. Representatives from 30 star systems gathered in the newly constructed Orbital Diplomatic Center, its quantum-shifted architecture demonstrating humanity's mastery of space and time. "We stand at a crossroads," Admiral Nakamura addressed the assembled delegates, her words translated into 24 languages. Earth's emergence could have heralded an era of conquest and dominion. Instead, we offer partnership. Our technology, our knowledge, our vision of the future, these are not weapons to subjugate, but tools to elevate. As she spoke, quantum displays showed the progress already achieved. Former war zones transformed into centers of commerce and cultural exchange. Drachnid warships, refitted with human quantum drives, patrolled trading routes they once terrorized. The galaxy was changing, and at its heart stood Earth, not as a conqueror, but as a guide toward a more enlightened future. The greatest deception in human history had ended, replaced by the greatest transformation in galactic history. Humanity had proven that true power lies not in the ability to destroy, but in the wisdom to build, to teach, and to lead by example.